to my stream here. Following on YouTube, I'm under Sports Bonanza John. My name is John. This is my first Kick stream as well, going live on Kick tonight under Sports Kick John. Good to have you with us tonight. We're going to be doing some baseball tonight. Rays and the Tigers. The Tigers, a best 57-34 record so far in the American League. By far the best team in baseball. The Rays, with postseason aspirations themselves, they're at 49-41, third place in a very, very tough American League East that at the moment has a surprising leader in the Toronto Blue Jays, leading the AL East right now by 3 games. So the Rays with postseason aspirations as well, as we are a week out from the All-Star break. Before we get going here, I want to give you a little bit of background. My name is John, Sports Bonanza John. If you've been following me during the finals, the NBA finals, I was covering the Pacers Thunder. Have not been able to be on with you since. The work schedule's kind of gotten in the way, but back with you here. We're going to be doing some baseball and going to be getting really full gear on this page here during football season, when football season starts about a month and a half away from now. So really be getting going there as well. They'll be bringing you some baseball up until then here on my page here. Bringing you a lot of baseball here over the summer until we get full going here in football season. Any first-time viewer, want to give you a quick synopsis of what this is. This is a stream of several different sports. I cover several different sports. Basketball during season. I'm going to be covering football and be doing some baseball as well. Just not affiliated with any one team, just in general. Doing a baseball games, it's probably going to have to be whatever the national game is being shown, because I don't have any extra packages or anything. So we're going to do the Rays and Tigers tonight, not affiliated with any one particular team. As I said, just going to be jumping around, covering different teams here. Before we begin the stream, I do always start with a prayer beforehand, so we're going to do that right now. Lord, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for looking over us today, and please keep these players safe on the field tonight and keep all the fans safe and look over us all, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, quick preview of this one. The Tigers, as I mentioned, 57-34, MLB best right now. Of course, obviously leading the American League Central. They have World Series aspirations out of the American League right now. Tampa Bay as well, 49-41, third place in the American League East. They have postseason aspirations as well. They're having to get, they're actually trying to figure out a stadium situation just in case they do make the postseason, because, of course, their home stadium, Tropicana Field, unusable this year. They suffered that big damage to their field during the hurricane last year, so they've actually been playing at the Yankees AAA stadium in Tampa this year. So they're trying to get a stadium situation worked out just in case they do make postseason play, which is a very good possibility at this point if Tampa Bay keeps playing the way they are. Let's take a look at the Rays batting order as they get ready to start. Yandy Diaz will lead off a DH, followed by Aranda, Caminero, Lowe, Mangum, Caballero, Simpson, Walls, and Jansen will be the Tampa Bay batting order tonight. And they are facing Tigers pitcher tonight, Keter Montero. Montero with a 3-1 record. This is his 7th start of the season, his 12th appearance. ERA just slightly over 4. 20 walks and 39 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .267 against Montero. That's a little bit high. You'd like to have that .250 or under if you're a pitcher. And we are set to go. Tigers and Rays, 2 very good teams in the American League. Getting set to get underway here tonight. And we are underway. The first pitch of this one to Diaz is inside for ball 1. Diaz hitting .289 on the season, 14 home runs. He's drove in 52. Montero's 1-0 is right down the middle for strike 1. Again, for any first-time viewers, I am still new on the streaming, so I'm not quite able to give the fancy graphics or anything like that yet, as Diaz fouls that one back. It's 1-2. So I'll get there, just work in progress, as they say. One-two pitch on the way to Diaz is hit Right back to Montero, but he can't handle it, and Diaz is going to beat that out. Once that got past Montero, there was no chance to get Diaz at first base, and that's going to be, I would think, an infield single for Diaz to start the game for Tampa. Yeah, Montero, that was going to be a tough play anyway, even if Montero fielded that ball. Diaz, very good speed there at first base. So that will bring up the number 2 hitter here for Tampa Bay in Aranda. Aranda takes strike 1. Jonathan Aranda hitting .320, drove in 47, hit 10 long balls. Between innings, we'll get you updated on the other action going on tonight around the major leagues as well as Aranda swings and misses for strike 2. It's 0-2. Aranda in the American League is first in 3 categories. He's first in batting average, first in on-base percentage, and first in OPS percentage. A very dangerous hitter for Tampa Bay, Jonathan Aranda. And here's the 0-2. Hit to first, one play at first base, and the throw down to second. That's going to be a double play. Diaz was slow getting to second base there off the contact, and he was thrown out at second base, and that is what you know, a very rare 1-3-6 double play. So now base is empty and 2 outs. Boy, Diaz was, I don't know what he was making absolutely no effort there getting to second base. He was just kind of lollygagging there to second base, and it cost him. So now 2 out, nobody on for the Rays, and strike 1. Number 3 hitter here in the Rays lineup is Junior Caminero, and he fouls this back and is quickly 0-2. Caminero hitting .258 on the season, does have 21 home runs and drove in 57. Here comes the 0-2. Way high, 1-2. Tried to get Caminero to chase there. Junior Caminero, 22 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled away. Another 1-2 pitch on the way from Montero to Caminero is popped up. Foul ground. Is it going to be playable? It is not. Fine effort there. Just not able to reach it there. Comes another 1-2 pitch to Caminero. Right down the middle, strike 3. Caminero knew it, and that'll do it in the top of the first. Rays get a leadoff single, but erased on a double play, and the Tigers get their first at bat coming up in a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Other action coming up in Major League Baseball tonight on this Monday. Of course, we've got the Rays and Tigers here. Marlins and Reds in Cincinnati. They're in a little bit of a weather delay in Cincinnati right now. Coming up here in about 25 minutes or so is the Rockies and Red Sox at Fenway. Where the White Sox, of course, last year set the all-time worst record in Major League Baseball for futility, unfortunately. The Rockies are on pace to pass that. This year, the Rockies having just an absolutely disastrous season. Good matchup coming up, Dodgers and the Brewers in Milwaukee. That's about an hour from now. Also about an hour from now in Kansas City, Pirates and Royals. Speaking of the White Sox, they host the AL East leading Toronto Blue Jays. Tonight they're on the south side of Chicago. Astros in Cleveland. AL West battle in Anaheim tonight between the Rangers and Angels. D-backs and Padres and Phillies Giants wrap up the slate in Major League Baseball tonight. I mentioned the Rays and the Tigers. Tigers, Major League best 57-34 right now. The Rays come in at 49-41, third place in the American League East. Led by, surprisingly right now, the surprise to a lot of people, Toronto Blue Jays, a 3-game lead in the American League East right now. So they got postseason aspirations north of the border tonight, or no postseason aspirations this year in Toronto. Underway here in the bottom of the first here in Detroit. And ball one. Shane Baz on the starting pitcher for the Rays, making his 18th start, 8-3 on the year, ERA just north of 4.25. 97 strikeouts for Baz so far this year. And strike one called. Here's the 1-1. In the air to center field. And one down here in the bottom of the first. Colt Keith just flew out there. Gleyber Torres now will be the batter for Detroit. Swing and a miss for Gleyber Torres. Strike one. Torres hitting .278 on the season. 9 home runs. He's drove in 44. Oh, 1 pitch has high, 1-1. One is outside to Gleyber Torres, 2-1. Inside on the 2-1 pitch, now 3-1 to Torres. Three-one pitch from Baz to Torres is ball 4 up and in, and Torres draws a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the first. And that will bring up McKinstry. McKinstry hitting .285 on the season. Number 3 hitter for Detroit. And strike one. Comes the 0-1 swing and a miss. 1-1 now. .02 on the way is up the hit to second base and overrunning the ball there at second base, and everybody's safe. Caballero overran that ball at second base, and the Tigers have runners at first and second here in the bottom of the first inning with one out. Well, Caballero, that thing just went right under his glove. So they'll bring up the cleanup hitter now in Riley Green. And ball one. Riley Green leading the American League in RBIs. Swing and a miss by Green. Baz with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 on the way. Down and in, 2-1. First and second, one out for Detroit, and 2-1 the count to the cleanup hitter Riley Green. 2-1 fouled away, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way to Riley Green from Baz. Looking Torres back to second, and the delivery swing and a miss. Strike three. 99 on the fastball for Baz, and it strikes out Green for out number 2. And he'll bring up Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson hitting .235 on the season, a little bit low on the average, and takes ball one. That's another 98 on the fastball from Baz. One 0 is foul, 1-1. Torkelson with 20 home runs on the season. He's drove in 56. One. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Pretty good crowd on hand on a Monday night in Detroit. But when you're the best team in baseball, you're going to get pretty good turnouts as we approach the All-Star break coming up a week from tomorrow, All-Star game. 1-2 pitch. Torkelson held up, and it's 2-2. Baz ready, and the 2-2 on the way to Torkelson. Torkelson in the air to center. This should end the inning, and it will as the catch is made out there in center field. And the inning is over. Tigers strand 2, and we've played 1 in Detroit. Nothing between the Rays and the Tigers. As these two teams won the first of a 3-game set in Detroit. These teams met just a couple weeks ago in Tampa. Rays took 2 of 3 in that series over the Tigers. And if the teams continue to play the way they are, they could see each other again postseason play. Gonna be try. The key word here is try. Gonna try to be on for another stream with you tomorrow night. If the work schedule cooperates, I'm gonna hopefully be with you tomorrow night. Be bringing you that Dodgers Brewers game in Milwaukee tomorrow night. Work again, pending schedule and all that. I do still have a full-time job, so that's been kind of in the way as some streaming I've been wanting to do, but hopefully be able to bring you that Dodgers Brewers game tomorrow night. As baseball is mentioned, getting set to hit the All-Star break after this coming weekend. Home Run Derby coming up Monday night. All-Star game coming up Tuesday night. And a couple surprises anyway in Major League Baseball. As mentioned, the big one for a lot of people is the AL East leading Toronto Blue Jays, leading by 3 games in the AL East right now. And these Tampa Bay Rays, 3rd place in that American League East. And the Detroit Tigers, best team in the American League. A lot of people would say that's a bit of a surprise as well. But the Tigers, postseason play a year ago, so they were expected to have a pretty decent season. I don't know if anybody thought they would be the best team in baseball at this point, 90 games into the season. Underway here in the 2nd inning. And strike 1. To the leadoff batter in the 2nd for the Rays, Josh Lowe. 268 average on the season for Lowe. And takes it on the inside corner, 0-2. Lowe didn't care for that call. Did Lowe go around? He did not, as they appealed to the third base umpire. It's 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Right there, strike 3. Lowe knew it as he walks back to the dugout. 2nd strikeout for Montero. And 1 down in the 2nd. That was right there on that pitch to Josh Lowe. Brings up now Jake Mangum. A 309 hitter. Mangum hits it to first, and playing it himself there at first base is Torkelson, and 2 outs very quickly here in the Rays' 2nd inning. Two down here for the Rays in the 2nd. And it will bring up the number 6 hitter for Tampa, Caballero. And strike 1. Sinker ball that time from Montero. That's down low, 1-1. Jose Caballero hitting 230 on the season. Takes that one on the outside corner. Strike 2, 1-2. Caballeros drove in 24 this year and takes low on the 1-2 pitch, 2-2. Keep you updated between innings. Keep you updated on those other scores around Major League Baseball. Only one other game ongoing at the moment, and that's in a rain delay between Marlins and Reds. Full count now as Caballero takes that high. Full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch from Montero to Caballero. Strike 3 at the knees. Caballero didn't like it. But that's the 3rd strikeout for Montero. Rays down in order in the 2nd. 0-0. We head to the bottom of the 2nd in Detroit. Looking at these odds now, as I mentioned, the Tigers, of course, leading the American League. They are 2nd, actually, best odds to win the World Series right now. Dodgers still leading that. Dodgers still the best odds of winning the World Series, but the Tigers 2nd on that list. course, the Yankees been struggling a bit here recently. Just were swept by Toronto just about a week or two ago. Almost got swept by the Mets in the Subway Series over the weekend. Yankees struggling a little bit at the moment. Still in that rain delay in Cincinnati between the Marlins and the Reds. Just about to get underway in Boston between the Rockies and the Red Sox. The Tigers will be coming up here in the bottom of the second inning, as it will be 6, 7, and 8 due up for Detroit here in the bottom of the second. Dylan Dingler will be leading it off. He'll be followed by Parker Meadows and Trey Sweeney, the bottom of the second for the Tigers in this scoreless game. Again, hope to be with you tomorrow night for that Dodgers-Brewers game. That is the tentative plan at this point anyway. Then be with you. Do another baseball stream coming up this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, again, depending on the work schedule. As we are set to begin the bottom of the second inning, first pitch swinging here in the bottom of the second is a gapper into left center field. And this is going to be a leadoff double in the bottom of the second for Dingler. As Dingler on the first pitch sent that ball into the left center field gap. And the Tigers have the leadoff man in scoring position here in the bottom of the second. And the batter will be Parker Meadows. Meadows takes strike one. Meadows hitting at 196 on the season. Oh, 1 pitch to Meadows. Strike two. Baz has Meadows behind 0-2. Trey Sweeney is on deck for the Tigers. And the 0-2 from Baz to Meadows, a swing and a miss. Strike three. Went with the curveball, and it got Meadows to chase, and it's the second strikeout for Baz. Big first out after giving up that leadoff double, and it'll bring up Sweeney now. Sweeney hitting .220 on the season, number 8 hitter tonight for Detroit. Baz looking Dingler back at second and delivers. Ball one. 97. Boy, Baz has been right around that 97, 98 mile an hour mark with that fastball. Here comes the 1-0 from Baz to Sweeney. Hit foul, 1-1. Javier Baez on deck, number 9 hitter for Detroit. One on the way inside, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Inside, it's now 3-1. Passes 3-1 to Sweeney on the way. Swing and a miss, and it's full count now, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming. Here comes the 3-2 payoff from Baz to Sweeney. Dingler at second looks. The 3-2 swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Baz after giving up the leadoff double, and it'll be up to Javier Baez to keep the inning alive for the Tigers. Baez hitting .280 on the season. 9 home runs. He's drove in 37. RBI chance here. And the Tigers not wanting to squander the leadoff double. Baz's pitch to Baez. Baez goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Strike one. Javier Baez will get the All-Star game start. He is now the 4th player in Major League history to start an All-Star game at his 3rd different position. And it's now 0-2 to Baez. Payoff, or the 0-2 rather. Baez sends it in the air. Back it goes to left center, and goodbye. Javier Baez with number 10 on the year, and the Tigers lead it 2-0 in the bottom of the second. 10th home run for Baez. RBIs 38 and 39, and the Tigers jump out to a 2-0 second inning lead. Boy, the Tigers didn't want to squander that leadoff double, and they did not as Baez goes deep to left center. As we are back to the top of the order now in Colt Keith. Keith sends it. They're saying that's a fair ball down the first baseline, and Keith has a 2-out double. So a 3rd extra base hit of the inning for Detroit. I thought that was foul looking at it. But right now it stands as a double. And it brings up Gleyber Torres, who drew a walk his first time up. Ball 1. Baz, throughout the year, has been pretty good for the first 3 innings, facing the lineup first couple times. But as he faces the lineup for the 3rd time in the middle innings, that's where he starts to struggle. But Baez got to him his first time he saw him here. Now 1-1 on Gleyber Torres. One on the way from Baz to Torres. Swing and a miss. Boy, Torres was swinging for the fence on that swing. 1-2. Baz isn't, we're not even through the second inning yet. Baz is already approaching the 40 pitch mark. This is number 39 on the 1-2, and it's low and outside, 2-2. So not only have the Tigers gotten to Baz for 2, they've also got him to run the pitch count up already as he's about to throw his 40th pitch in the first 2 innings. Here comes the 2-2. Just missed. Full count. He just missed strike 3. I don't know how Torres laid off that pitch. The payoff 3-2 on the way from Baz to Torres. Bouncer. That's going to be a tough play, but it's made at first base. Nice play to end the inning. But the Tigers get 2 on the Javier Baez home run, and they take a 2-0 lead through 2 in Detroit between the Rays and the Tigers. Mentioned earlier, this is the second time in the span of a couple weeks these two teams are meeting for a 3-game series. Over the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of June, the two teams met in Tampa. The Rays took 2 of 3 in that series down in Tampa. And they are meeting now, just a couple weeks later, this time in Detroit. And the Tigers lead at 2-0. Gotten underway at Fenway between the Rockies and Red Sox. That game just underway. Still in a delay in Cincinnati between the Marlins and Reds. Game's about to pitch here in about the next 30 minutes. Dodgers and Brewers in Milwaukee. Pirates and Royals in Kansas City. And the Blue Jays and White Sox, first place Blue Jays and White Sox, down on the south side of Chicago. First pitch in about an hour between Cleveland and Houston down in Texas. Boy, what a devastating situation that is down in Texas with that flooding. Just an absolute horrific situation down there. I've been through a flood myself, and pictures do not do it justice. It is, the power of water is just unbelievable. And how fast it can come, there's just nothing you can do. All right, here, it's got a 2-0 Detroit as we are set to go into the third inning of play. Tampa Bay will have 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. Due up here in the third. Against Montero. And the first pitch in the top of the third is inside for ball 1. To Chandler Simpson, hitting .302 on the season for the Rays. And the 1-0 pitch is at the knees, 1-1. Simpson will be followed by Walls and Jansen here in the Rays' third inning. 1-1 pitch on the ground, a second. Play made there at second base by Torres over to Torkelson, and 1 down here in the Rays' third inning. And that will bring up Taylor Walls for the Rays. Walls a .208 hitter on the season, just above that Mendoza line. As I said, Baz's pitch count through 2 innings for Tampa was over 40 pitches. On the reverse side, Montero is not even to the 30-pitch mark into the third inning for Detroit. That's a foul ball off the bat, and it's quickly 0-2, the count on Walls. Montero working very quickly here, and the 0-2 pitch is inside, 1-2. Danny Jansen on deck for Tampa Bay. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Down low, 2-2. Two from Montero to Walls. Outside, and Walls has battled back from down 0-2 to a full count now, 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. Fouled away. We'll do it again on a 3-2. Here comes another payoff 3-2 pitch on the way. Ball 4, and Walls, a great job of battling back there to draw a walk after being down 0-2. And it will bring up Jansen now. Jansen, a 206 hitter on the season. 9 home runs. He's drove in 26. And takes strike 1. Runner at first, 2 outs for the Rays. Down 2 here in the top of the third. And strike 2. I don't know if that was a cold strike or they're saying Jansen went around, but nonetheless, it's a strike. And Jansen down 0-2. Walls was down 0-2 the previous at bat and ended up battling back to draw a walk. Here's the 0-2 on the way. That's low and outside. Not far enough for Walls to advance. 1-2. Good stop back there by Dingler to prevent the extra base. Here comes the 1-2 to Jansen from Montero. Line to left field. That's a base hit, and the Rays have runners at first and second now with 2 outs. Trying to mount a rally here in the third inning. Second hit for the Rays off Montero. And we are back now to the top of the order for Tampa Bay in Yandy Diaz. Diaz singled his first time up back in the first. Rays trying to mount a third inning rally here. Strike 1 to Diaz. First time in this game, the Rays are running that pitch count up on Montero here in this third inning. This will be his 40th pitch of the game. And Yandy Diaz is now behind 0-2 as he fouls that back. Of Montero's 40 pitches, 28 of them have been for strikes. Just 12 out of the strike zone right now. 0-2 on the way. In the air to right. Looks like the Tigers are going to get out of this. And they do. I'm sorry, that's only the second out, excuse me, as McKinstry makes the catch. Almost had a moment, who was that last week for the Cubs, that Pete Crow Armstrong that lost track of the outs, what I just did. Rhonda now steps up with 2 out and 2 on for Tampa Bay. Rhonda 0 for 1 in the game so far. Check swing foul for strike 1. Rhonda hit into that weird 1-3-6 double play in the first inning where Diaz was not exactly hustling to second base. Into right field. That's a base hit for Aranda. Scoring is a run for Tampa. Throw to third, and Jansen's out at third base. Trying to get to third base there. The run does count. And looks Kevin Cash was wondering if he was going to challenge the play at third base. He will not. And the Rays will settle for one run. And he was clearly out on the replay, so he would have lost that challenge. Rays do get one as Wall scored from second base there. And it's a 2-1 lead now for the Tigers as we head to the bottom of inning number 3. So the Tigers here in the bottom of the third inning will have 3, 4, 5 coming up. McKinstry, Green, and Torkelson against Baz. In a 2-1 ball game here now, as the Rays got one back in the top of the inning. Rockies did not score in the top of the first at Fenway, so Red Sox coming up now in the bottom of the first in that one, 0-0. Again, this is the final week of play in Major League Baseball before the All-Star break. All-Star game coming up next Tuesday in Atlanta. Talk about a team that's struggling. Atlanta had that bad start, and now they're in a little bit of a funk again heading into the All-Star break. They were just swept at home by Baltimore over the weekend. And the Tigers here, Major League best 57-34 record against the Rays. Two teams right here with serious postseason aspirations coming up. Still ways to go, 70-plus games yet coming up in the season. Baseball, one of those weird sports where the All-Star game hits well past the halfway point for all these teams. Season beginning at the end of March now in Major League Baseball. All-Star game not until mid-July. So these teams nearly have 100 games in before the All-Star break hits. Bottom of the third we go. And taking ball one here is McKinstry. Hit into a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Baz back out there for his third inning. 1-0 pitch to McKinstry inside, 2-0. Two and 0 the count to McKinstry. McKinstry sends it on the ground to second. And the first out recorded in the bottom of the second as Caballero makes the play over to Aranda, and there's one out. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Riley Green. Green struck out his first time up against Baz. .71 RBIs for Riley Green. Swing and a miss. He was going for the fence right there. 0-1. 71 RBIs for Green. Next closest on the Tigers is Torkelson. He's got 56. .01 is inside to Green. A ball and a strike. One pitch on the way to Riley Green, the cleanup hitter for Detroit. That's high, 2-1. Talking about World Series odds earlier, Tigers have the second best odds of winning the World Series right now. Dodgers are first, Phillies are third, Yankees are fourth. Still kind of surprised they're still that high. And the Astros are fifth as far as World Series odds. winning the World Series this year. Green pops that up, foul territory, and playable on the first base side. And the catch made by Aranda for out number 2. 2 down here in the Tigers' third, and they'll bring up Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson having a whale of a first half for the Tigers. "56 RBIs, 20 home runs. Pitch to Torkelson is high for ball 1. Again, Baz bringing it, still high 90s on that fastball. "1-0 pitch on the way to Torkelson. And time called. Pitch clock violation actually was just called on Baz, so that's going to be a ball to Torkelson. First one of those we've seen in this game. So it's now 2-0 the count on Torkelson, and here is the 2-0 pitch. Torkelson sends it into center field, and coming on, unable to make the catch out there in center field. And Torkelson rounding first, trying for second, and he's in there with a 2-out double. Boy, a diving effort out there in center field by Simpson. Couldn't quite come down with it, and Torkelson takes advantage and stretches it into a 2-out double. Once it was not played in center field, Torkelson turned on the Jets and made it into second sliding. Great effort out there by Simpson, just off the front of his glove. Just unable to come up with a diving catch out there in center field. It'll bring up the catcher, Dingler. Dingler's 1 for 1. He takes high, ball 1. Dingler doubled in the second and scored on that Baez 2-run homer. "1-0 pitch to Dingler. Foul back, 1-1. "1-1 pitch from Baz to Dingler. Swing and a miss, 1-2. 98 again on the radar gun on that fastball from Baz. A ball and 2 strikes on Dingler. And here is the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Torkelson standing at second after that 2-out double. Here in the third, Tigers a 1-run lead. Bottom of the third. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Baz gets Dingler to chase out of the zone. And the 2-out double proves harmless for the Rays as the Tigers leave them stranded. End of 3 in Detroit. Tigers lead the Rays 2-1. The Rays will be sending up 3, 4, and 5 in the 4th inning. Caminero, Lowe, and Mangum against Montero. If you updated on those scores, still in a delay in Cincinnati between the Marlins and the Reds. Red Sox empty in their half of the first, so Colorado and Boston, no score after 1 at Fenway. About 10 minutes away from first pitch in Milwaukee between the Dodgers and Brewers. Also about 10 minutes away from first pitch, Pirates and Royals. And also Blue Jays and White Sox about to get underway. Getting underway just after the top of the hour, Cleveland and Houston down in Texas. Later on out west, AL West battle, Rangers and Angels. NL West battle between the D-backs and Padres. And out in the Bay, Phillies and Giants get underway later on as well. Tigers lead it here 2-1 as we are set to go to the top of the fourth inning. Junior Caminero will lead off the fourth inning for Tampa Bay. Caminero was a strikeout victim his first time against Montero. Javier Baez home run, the difference right now as the Tigers lead it 2-1. First pitch, top of the fourth. Montero at the 43 pitch mark delivers strike one to Caminero. Oh, 1 from Montero to Caminero. Caminero sends it in the air to left center. Calling out there is Meadows in left center field, and he's got it for the first out. One down here in the Rays' fourth inning, and it'll bring up Josh Lowe, who was also a strikeout victim against Montero his first time. Lowe sends it into left field, diving and making the catch out there in left field was Riley Green, a diving catch in left field. Great diving catch out there by Green. And that looked like, had that ball not been caught, that looks like it had a chance to get by Green, so he may have possibly saved a double, if not a triple, on that diving catch. 2 down here for Mangum, and he takes strike one. Mangum is 0 for 1. To second base, and a very quick top of the fourth inning. A 6-pitch inning for Montero, and it stays 2-1 Detroit as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Forgot to mention at the beginning, by following me on YouTube, Sports Bonanza John. If you like my content here, appreciate a like and subscribe on that channel, Sports Bonanza John. Again, I'm on my debut stream on Kick tonight as well, Sports Kick John. You to follow me on there as well. I also have a Twitch page, Sport Guru John, that's had some content for when I did the NBA Finals, Pacers Thunder. I'll get more content on there as we continue to grow this channel, hopefully, here as well. So again, if you like what I'm doing on YouTube, Sports Bonanza John, would appreciate a like and subscribe if you would. 2-1 Tigers, as this game is just moving right along as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Be 7, 8, and 9 for Detroit due up. Meadows, Sweeney, and Baez against Baz. Rockies have scored in the top of the second at Fenway, so they lead the Red Sox 1-0. Rockies on pace for a 124-loss season right now. Because the White Sox set the record last year at 121. That record was previously held by the Mets as far as most losses in a season until last year. It was about 60 years that record for the Mets held for most losses in a season until the White Sox broke it last year. And the White Sox record for most losses in a season could last all of 1 year, as the Rockies are on pace to break it this year. That's not a record you really want to see broken. The White Sox would like to see it broken. Underway here at the bottom of the fourth, 7-8-9. Meadows, a strikeout victim against Baz his first time, takes high for ball one. Pretty nice crowd on hand in Detroit for a Monday night. Overcast skies. 1-0 pitch is fouled back, 1-1. One pitch from Baz to Meadows on the way. Meadows into right center field. That's going to be a base hit for Parker Meadows to lead off the bottom of the fourth for Detroit. And it will bring up Sweeney now. Fifth hit of the game for Detroit. They've out-hit Tampa Bay 5-3 so far. Sweeney steps up. He was a strikeout victim as well against Baz his first time up. First pitch swinging for Sweeney in the air. That will stay in fair territory, and the catch made by Caminero right along that foul line for the first out. Here's Javier Baez. Last time, back in the second inning, hit that 2-run home run to left center. That's the difference in this game so far. His 10th home run of the year. Baez fouls it back for strike one. Had a good cut at that one, too. Baez fouls it back again. He's down 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Baez from Baz. Outside, 1-2. Baz has crossed the 60-pitch mark in this game here in the fourth inning. This is about the part of the game now where Baz starts to struggle. Get mid innings, fourth, fifth, sixth innings. His ERA jumps into the 7s. Baez sends this one to second base, and the catch made. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the fourth. 2-1 Tigers over the Rays as we head to the fifth. Still just a one-run game. They are now underway in Milwaukee between the Dodgers and Brewers, underway in Kansas City between the Pirates and Royals, and they've also gotten underway on the south side of Chicago between the Blue Jays and White Sox. Rockies 1-0 lead over the Red Sox. That game's heading to the bottom of the second, and still in that delay in Cincinnati. Marlins and the Reds. Top of the fifth. Getting set to get underway here. Rays down a run. Checking out these two teams. These two teams have a 3-game series heading to Tampa Bay. Heads to Fenway to play the Red Sox. This final series this weekend before the All-Star break. The Tigers will stay home and host the Mariners in their final series before the All-Star break. As we are set to go here in the 5th inning. Six, 7, 8 for Tampa Bay. Caballero takes ball 1 low. Caballero struck out his first time against Montero. Here's the 1-0 outside, 2-0. Caballero, Simpson, and Walls here in the Rays' 5th inning. The 2-0 from Montero. In the air, center field. And the catch made out there by Meadows for the first out. One down, it'll bring up Chandler Simpson. Simpson 0 for 1 in the game. Simpson lines this one into right field. That's going to go to the wall. Simpson rounding first. Simpson will cruise into second with a 1-out double, and the tying run is on for the Rays here in the 5th. Fourth hit of the game for the Rays against Montero. And it will bring up Walls. Taylor Walls walked and scored the Tampa Bay run back in the 3rd inning. One out scoring chance for the Rays to try to tie this game. Ball 1 outside the Walls. One 0 pitch on the way to Walls from Montero. Inside, 2-0. Pitch. In the air, left center out there. Center fielder Meadows makes the catch. Simpson started to head to third, but retreats back to second, and there are now 2 outs. So it'll be up to Danny Jansen to get the Rays tying run across. Jansen singled in the 3rd in his previous plate appearance. Ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. In the air to left, but well foul. And it's 1-1. One pitch from Montero to Jansen. Hit to third. Hard shot to third, but the play made over there. Great play at third base by Baez, and the Rays are done in the 4th. In the 5th, they squander the double, and the Tigers still lead this game 2-1. We're halfway through it. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. just over an hour old into this game, and we are already heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers will send the top of the order in the bottom of the 5th here. Keith, Torres, and McKinstry to the plate. Baz has settled down on the mound for Tampa Bay since that rocky start, giving up that 2-run homer in the 2nd inning to Baez. Red Sox have taken a 3-1 lead over the Rockies at Fenway. That game's in the bottom of the 2nd. Dodgers empty in their half of the 1st inning in Milwaukee, as were the Pirates empty in their half of the 1st against the Royals. And again, still in that delay in Cincinnati between the Marlins and the Reds. Here it is 2-1 Detroit as we head to the bottom half of inning number 5. It'll be Colt Keith leading it off for Detroit in the bottom of the 5th. Keith is 1 for 2 in the game. Sorry, I'm getting these pop-up ads on the computer. I got 2 computers going, getting these pop-up ads that keep popping up. Here we go, bottom of the 5th. 2-1 our score. And Baz back out there for the 5th at 63 pitches so far. Keith swings at the first pitch and fouls it off, strike 1. Baz seeing the lineup for the 3rd time. This is the point where he really starts to struggle against the hitters. 3rd time through the lineup in the middle innings. It's down low, 1-1. One pitch from Baz to Keith outside, 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way to Keith. Is not close, 3-1. Baz is 3-1 to Keith. Keith sends it into right field. That's a base hit for Keith. Cut off out there. Keith trying to stretch it into a double, and he will as the throw is offline, and it'll be a leadoff double. 2nd double of the night for Keith. And the Tigers have the leadoff man on. And it'll bring up Gleyber Torres. Double number 15 on the season for Keith. And a meeting on the mound. Don't think they're going to pull Baz yet. They're just having a meeting. And Baz will stay out there. And Gleyber Torres steps up for Detroit. 0 for 1. He has reached on a walk. That came back in the first inning. Keith at second. Nobody out for the Tigers here in the fifth. And ball one high to Torres. One 0 pitch. Strike. Good pitch there from Baz. 1-1. One pitch from Baz to Torres. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Baz still hitting 97 on the radar gun with his fastball. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 1-2 pitch to Torres from Baz. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase up out of the zone. And Torres strikes out. That's the fifth strikeout of the game for Baz. One away, and here's McKinstry. That was well up out of the strike zone, but Torres went after it and chased it. McKinstry's 0 for 2. He's reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out. Takes low here, ball one. One 0 pitch. Up high, 2-0. Two and 0, the count on McKinstry. Here's the 2-0 from Baz. Strike right down the middle, 2-1. Two one is foul, and the count's now even, 2-2. Two pitch on the way from Baz to McKinstry. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Baz. 6 in the game now. 2 outs here. And here's the cleanup hitter, Riley Green. Green is 0 for 2 in this one. Green sends it in the air, foul, strike one. Green made that phenomenal catch in left field back in the 4th inning. Green sends it into right. It's going to fall. Keith rounding third and coming across. RBI for Riley Green, and it's 3-1 Tigers. Riley Green, RBI number 72 on the year for Riley Green as he brings home Keith. Now brings up Torkelson. Torkelson sends it in the air to center, but it'll stay in the park. And out there for the catch is Simpson for the third out. But the Tigers add a run on the RBI single from Riley Green. And they now lead at 3-1 as we head to inning number 6 in Detroit. We'll see if that's going to be the end of the night for Baz on the mound for the Rays. Update on a couple of those other games around baseball. Red Sox continue to lead the Rockies 3-1. That's heading to the bottom of the third at Fenway. The Brewers have broke out for 3 in the bottom of the first against the Dodgers. 3-0 Brewers lead there. Royals got a run in the bottom of the first. They lead the Pirates 1-0 after 1. Blue Jays and White Sox 0-0 after 1. And here it's 3-1 as the Tigers have reclaimed that 2-run lead as we head to the top half of inning number 6. On a Monday night in Detroit, last Monday before the All-Star break in Major League Baseball. Rays here in the 6th inning. We'll have the top of the order coming up. Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero. In a 2-run hole once again, 3-1. Tigers 57-34, best team in the American League, and what I've seen this year looking like the best team in baseball right now. World Series aspirations in Detroit, and I think they have a team that has a very good chance of getting there. Underway here in the 6th. Outside, ball 1 to Diaz. Diaz 1 for 2 in the game for the Rays, as Montero back out for the 6th inning, about to throw his 60th pitch of the night. Swing and a miss by Diaz. It's 1-1. One is foul. Ball and 2 strikes on Diaz. One, two on the way, inside, 2-2. Diaz, swing and a miss for strike 3. That is strikeout number 4 for Montero on the night. Brings up Jonathan Aranda. Drove in the Rays' run back in the 3rd and takes strike 1 here. Aranda's average now at .321. Takes low here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, 2-1. Bullpen starting to loosen a little bit for Detroit. It's a 2-1 pitch on the way from Montero to Aranda. Aranda sends it in the air to center. Back goes Meadows. He's got it for out number 2. That's Tyler Holton getting loose for the Tigers in the bullpen. As Junior Caminero comes up with 2 outs, nobody on for the Rays. Into right. And McKinstry with the grab and a 3-up, 3-down, 6th inning. Montero's made it through 6 as he just pitched his last pitch of the night. We'll see. It's 3-1 Tigers as we head to the bottom half of inning number 6. And will we see Shane Baz back out there for the Rays, or will we have a new pitcher in the ballgame? Baz didn't pitch badly if it is the end of the night for him, but he made that one bad pitch to Baez back in the 2nd inning that Baez sent over the fence. Updates on those other baseball scores. Red Sox continue to lead the Yankees. Red Sox continue to lead the Rockies 3-1. Bottom of the 3rd. Brewers still batting in the 1st against the Dodgers, already up 3-0. Royals 1-0 over the Pirates. Blue Jays, White Sox, no score, bottom of the 2nd. And about to get underway in Houston between the Astros and Cleveland. And still in that delay in Cincinnati between the Marlins and the Reds. The Tigers coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Dingler, Meadows, and Sweeney. So we head to the bottom half of inning number 6, and it will be Dingler leading it off for Detroit. Dingler is 1 for 2 on the night for Detroit. And Baz is back out there for the 6th for the Rays, and it's strike 1 to Dylan Dingler. The 0-1 high, 1-1. Pitch count at 82 for Shane Baz. 1-1 pitch on the way. Up high, 2-1. Showing Montero in the dugout for Detroit, and the way the team is going up to him, it looks like he has hit the end of the road for him. 6 strong innings for him tonight for Detroit. He stands to win the game. It's now 3-1 as that pitch misses to Dingler. Three-one pitch on the way. That is ball 4 inside, and a leadoff walk to Dingler here in the bottom of the 6th. And it'll bring up Meadows. Parker Meadows 1 for 2. Meadows on the ground to first. That could be 2. 1 there over to first, not fielded at first base. So it'll be a fielder's choice. So 1 down. Aranda fielded that ball, and then Baz unable to field the return throw. And looking at the rate, I don't know that they would have had him anyway. So 1 out here. And the batter will be Trey Sweeney. Yeah, they would not have had him anyway. They just showed the replay, even had Baz fielded that ball. So Sweeney steps to the plate here. 0 for 2 on the night. Went after an inside pitch and fouls it off down the first base line for strike 1. Sweeney may have broke his bat as well on that foul ball. Tigers not a real big stolen base team. They only have 31 steals on the entire season. Nonetheless, Baz throws over. Lead at first for Meadows, and the pitch swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Sweeney's in the hole. 3-1 lead for the Tigers. We're in the last half of the 6th inning. And the 0-2 pitch on the way, low and outside, 1-2. Wasted pitch there. Baz hoping he could get Sweeney to chase. Javier Baez, who hit the home run back in the 2nd, he is on deck. 1-2 pitch to Sweeney's outside. Runner takes off, and safe at second base is Meadows. So right when I said the Tigers were not a real heavy stolen base team, there they take off and steal one there. Meadows with the steal of second. That throw bounced to second base, and had that throw gotten to second, they may have had him. I think they would have had him with a good throw, actually. 2-2 on the way to Sweeney. Strike 3 called. High in the zone. Sweeney doesn't like the call, but that looked like a pretty good pitch. That's strikeout number 7 for Baz tonight. And it brings up Javier Baez now with 2 out. Baez takes outside for ball 1. At 92 pitches, Baz still hit 98 on the radar gun on that pitch. Here comes the 1-0 to Baez. Baez hits it foul, 1-1. This is more than likely going to be the last inning for Baz on the hill for the Rays. One pitch on the way to Baez. Baez hits it to third. Nice play there at third base. Throw across and in time. A great play there at third. Caminero and throws over to first. So the Tigers now just 2 for 12 tonight with runners in scoring position, but they do still have the 3-1 lead as we head to the 7th inning and what I believe is going to be a new pitcher on the mound for the Tigers. Might be seeing Tyler Holton here in the 7th. Some of those the Brewers put up 5 in the bottom of the 1st against the Dodgers. Brewers lead that game 5-0 after 1. Red Sox still lead the Rockies 3-1 in the 4th. Royals 1-0 over the Pirates, bottom 2nd. White Sox lead the Blue Jays 1-0. They put up a run in the bottom of the 2nd. And just now getting underway in Houston between the Astros and Cleveland. 3 West Coast games coming up later. Rangers and Angels, Diamondbacks and Padres, and Phillies and Giants. As we are set to begin the 7th inning here in this one, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Rays due up here in the 7th inning. And it is going to be Tyler Holton entering the game for Detroit. So Montero goes 6 tonight for the Tigers. Quality start for him. Up 4 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 4. 68 pitches on the night for Montero. So a great start for him on the mound tonight for the Tigers. Probably have seen the end of the road for Shane Baz for the Rays as well. He's at 94 pitches through 6 innings. Did not have as many problems in the middle innings in this one as he has all year long. Tyler Holton's first pitch is a ball to Lowe. Holton appearing for the 37th time on the season. Lowe's grounds ball to second base. And 1 down here in the Rays' 7th inning. And it'll bring up Mangum. Mangum on the night was 0 for 2 against Montero. See what he does here against Holton. Mangum to third. And 2 outs very quickly here in the Rays' 7th inning. And Caballero will step up now with 2 outs. And nobody on. But that was a rocket to Baez, but made it look pretty easy. Caballero takes strike 1 right down the middle. Caballero fouls it off Dingler's mask there behind the plate. It's 0-2. Caballero a strikeout and a flyout tonight, 0 for 2. And takes the 0-2 down low, 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Lined into left field, but right at the left fielder out there, Riley Green. And a 7-pitch inning for Tyler Holton. Rays down in order in the 7th. Time to stretch in Detroit. The Tigers lead the Rays 3-1. As the Rays are down to their final 6 outs here to try and rally in this one. Seeing who we see on the mound here in the bottom of the 7th for the Rays. And it is the end of the night for Baz for the Rays, and it is going to be Paul Gervasi. Be just his 5th appearance of the season. So both starters make it 6 tonight. Baz's final numbers through 6 innings tonight. 3 runs, all of them earned, 7 hits. Walked 2, did strike out 7. 94 pitches, the final count for Baz. So Gervais is in for the 5th time this season. Hasn't had a whole lot of work this year. 4 1/3 innings. He faces the top of the order for the Tigers here at the bottom of the 7th. Keith is 2 for 3 with a couple doubles on the night. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back, and it's quickly 0-2 on Keith. Keith has scored one of the 3 Tiger runs tonight, and the 0-2 pitch on the way. 0-2 is foul. We'll do it again. This has been one of the issues for Tampa Bay is the bullpen. Their ERA since the beginning of June is approaching 5. Toward the bottom of Major League Baseball, and we just had our 2nd pitch clock violation of the night. Pitch to Keith. Inside. The pitch to Keith is lifted in the air to right. Back it goes, and Keith has just sent it out over the right field wall. Keith goes deep for the 7th time this year, and the Tigers now lead it 4-1. A big insurance run for Keith, as that was about midway up the stands there beyond the right field wall. Way too much of the plate, and Keith takes advantage. 2nd home run of the night for Detroit. And a big insurance run pushes their lead to 3. Gleyber Torres goes after the first pitch and pops it up into right. Lowe makes the catch out there for the first out. And it'll bring up McKinstry now. McKinstry has an 0 for 3 night going. McKinstry takes inside for ball 1. Colt Keith, for the first time in his career, has 3 extra base hits in a game, has the home run to go with the 2 doubles. It's now 2-2, or 2-0 rather. Two-0 pitch on the way to McKinstry. McKinstry hammers one. That's deep to right, and that's going to go. McKinstry sends it out. The second homer of the inning for the Tigers, and it's now 5-1. Number 7 on the year for McKinstry. And Detroit has greeted Gervais very rudely here in the 7th inning. 2 home runs. It's now a 4-run lead. Well, those were 2 pretty far back into right field. One from Keith and now the one from McKinstry. And here's Riley Green. He takes ball 1. One-0 pitch to Green. Down low, 2-0. Nine hits tonight for the Tigers, 7 of them for extra bases. Two-0 pitch inside, now 3-0. Riley Green 1 for 3. He drove in a run with a single back in the 5th. And the 3-0 pitch. It's swinging away on 3-0. And it's fouled away, 3-1. He had the green light right there. Normally, I would say never, ever swing on 3-0, but when you're struggling a little bit like Gervais is, yeah, and you have a 4-run lead, why not? That's popped up foul, and the flat count now full on Riley Green, 3-2. Three-two swing and a miss. Strike 3. Green strikes out after being ahead 3-0 in the count. So 2 outs now in the 7th. And it'll bring up Torkelson. Torkelson 1 for 3 on the night. Strike 1. Torkelson has a double on the game. Strike 2. 0-2. Strike 3, and that'll do it for the inning. But 2 home runs for the Tigers. They add to their lead. It is now a 4-run lead. Keith and McKinstry go deep for the Tigers. It's now 5-1 as we head to the 8th. Rays now a big hole to climb out of, down by 4, down to their final 6 outs. A couple updates on those Major League Baseball games. Red Sox continuing to lead the Rockies 3-1. That game's in the top of the 5th. Brewers 5-0 over the Dodgers. That game's heading to the top of the 3rd. Pirates have battled back to take a 2-1 lead over the Royals. That's heading to the bottom of the 3rd. White Sox lead the Blue Jays 1-0, end of 3, and they have finally gotten underway in Cincinnati after that rain delay of what's going to be about an hour and a half Finally underway there between the Marlins and the Reds. Astros in Cleveland, no score after 1 in Houston. But here it's 5-1 Tigers as we head to the 8th inning. Pitching change for Detroit. Quality inning for Tyler Holton. We're now going to see Brennan Hanafy coming in to pitch for the Tigers. It's 42 innings on the year. 10 walks, 28 strikeouts. This will be his 38th appearance of the season. As he will be facing seven, eight, 9 hitters for the Rays here in the 8th inning. As he has a 5-1 lead to work with. Hanafy's ERA just north of 3.5, 3.64. Simpson leads off the 8th for the Rays. And strike 1. Simpson's 1 for 2. He doubled back in the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch. Up in the top of the zone, 0-2 on Simpson. Comes the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Actually, correction, Simpson got a piece of that. Oh, 2. That's outside, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way from Hanafy to Simpson. Inside, 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way. That's lined into left center. That's going to be a base hit for Simpson. That's his second hit of the night. And the Rays start trying to put up a rally here in the 8th inning. Start off with a leadoff single here in the 8th. And it will bring up Walls now. Now, Chandler Simpson is 4th in the major leagues, tied for 4th in the major leagues in stolen bases. So let's see if we see him take off. That first pitch lifted into center field. Meadows under it, and he's got it for the first out here in the top of the 8th inning. One down for the number 9 hitter, Jansen. Jansen's 1 for 2 tonight. Jansen hits it foul as he goes after the first pitch for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Top of the order, Diaz on deck for the Rays. 0-2 on the way. Pop foul. And we'll do it again. Simpson, the lead from first. It's not a huge lead at first base. 0-2 low and outside, 1-2. Simpson, as mentioned, has 24 stolen bases, but in a 4-run hole in the 8th inning. I don't know if you want to, it's just worth taking a risk to try to run yourself into an out since you only have 5 outs left to play with. 1-2 pitch. Simpson does not go again, and it's 2-2. Simpson, again, not a big lead off of first base. And the 2-2 pitch. Foul back. Jansen may have fouled that off his foot. He was a little slow getting up there. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Another 2-2 pitch on the way. Simpson, again, a very small lead at first base. 2-2 as another foul. This is a good battle here between Hannafy and Jansen. Another 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hannafy wins the battle as he strikes out Jansen. Back to the top of the order here in Diaz. 1 for 3 on the night. Diaz hits it foul. That will reach the seats and out of play. Strike 1. Yandy Diaz singled in the first, but then was thrown out at second on that 1-3-6 double play. Throw over to first. Check on Simpson, but he has not had a big lead over there at first base. Here's the 0-1. Inside. 1-1. One pitch on the way. To Diaz. In the air, center field. Meadows right there for the 3rd out, and the Rays retired in the top of the 8th inning. They strand a runner at first. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers lead this game over the Rays 5-1. Tigers 3 outs away from win number 58 on the season. And continuing their Major League best record. Tigers coming up here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll have 6, 7, and 8 due up. Dingler, Meadows, and Sweeney. Gervais had a rough 7th inning in there for Tampa Bay. I very highly doubt they're going to send him back out. Update on some more of those other baseball scores. Marlins and Reds finally underway. No score after one. In Cincinnati, Red Sox have added to their lead. They now lead the Rockies 5-1. Bottom of the fifth inning at Fenway. Red Sox, a little bit of a disappointing year for them so far. $5-0 Brewers over the Dodgers, bottom three. Royals lead the Pirates 3-2, bottom of the third. Blue Jays have tied up the White Sox 1-1. That game is heading to the bottom of the fourth. Astros and Cleveland, no score after two in Houston. As we head to the bottom of the eighth inning here, it is 5-1 Tigers over the Rays. And Gervais is back out there for Tampa Bay. As he starts with Dingler, strike one. Dingler's 1 for 2. He's doubled and he's reached on a walk, and he scored one of the 5 Tiger runs tonight. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. Outside, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike three. Dingler down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the eighth. Brings up Meadows. Meadows has a 1 for 3 night going. Strike one. Tigers leading the AL Central, of course, with the team's best record in baseball, as that's now 0-2. This is a division. The AL Central sent 3 teams to the postseason a year ago. Cleveland won the division. They ended up making it all the way to the ALCS before going out to the Yankees. Tigers and Royals also made the postseason out of this division. 0-2 is hit foul. Is that playable? It is. Well, it was, and falling over the screen and into the stands is Caminero, and he slow getting up. Looks like he's all right there. Couldn't quite come down with that foul ball. That was dangerous seeing him go over the rail there. He's all right. Fine effort there by Caminero. Well, he had it in his glove, and it just came out as he was falling over the rail and into the screen, into the stands. Fine effort by Caminero. Classy Tiger fans in the stands there going over to make sure he's all right. Good to see Caminero get back up and stay in this game. Great effort. Still 0-2 the count here. Oh, 2 on the way to Meadows again. Low, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way to Meadows. Low, 2-2. That thing was not even close. Sweeney on deck for Detroit. Two-two. Lined into right field, but right out there for the catch is Low for out number 2. Well, that was hit on the dot, but Low out there in right field, able to track it down for the second out. 2 down now for Sweeney. He's got an 0-for-3 night going with a couple strikeouts. Looking ahead to the Rays' 9th inning, it'll be the 2-3-4 hitters, Aranda, Caminero, and Lowe. They're going to need at least 4 in the top of the 9th. It's ball 1 inside to Sweeney here. Here's the 1-0. Pop foul. It's 1-1. One on the way to Sweeney. Inside, 2-1. Two one on the way to Sweeney. Down low, 3-1. If Sweeney gets on, Baez is on deck for Detroit. Baez hit that home run in the second inning that started the scoring for the Tigers tonight. And that is ball 4 as Sweeney takes low, and it will get Baez up to the plate. Baez 1-for-3, hit that 2-run home run in the second inning. That was his 10th home run of the season. Strike 1. Oh, 1 on the way to Baez. Swing and a miss at a pitch that was well outside, but Baez is down in the count now, 0-2. Oh-2 pitch to Baez. Popped up left field. Catch made out there by Mangum to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Tigers in the 8th. Last chance coming up for the Rays. Aranda, Caminero, and Lowe due up. It's a 5-1 lead for the Tigers. Looking for their MLB best 58th win of the season. And they are 3 outs away from doing so. Updating on some of those baseball scores. Marlins and Reds, no score, bottom of the 2nd. End of 5 at Fenway. Red Sox lead the Rockies 5-1. Brewers 5-0 over the Dodgers, top of the fourth. Royals now lead the Pirates 4-2, top of the fourth inning. Blue Jays have taken the lead over the White Sox. It's a 3-1 lead for the Blue Jays in the top of the fifth. Astros and Cleveland still scoreless, bottom three. And getting underway in about 45 minutes out west, Rangers, Angels, Padres, Diamondbacks, and Phillies, Giants. Next to last series before the All-Star break for both these teams. 3-game series here between the teams. Rays will wrap up before the All-Star break with 3 at Fenway against the Red Sox. The Tigers will be hosting Seattle for 3 in their final series before the All-Star break. That'll be this weekend. Looks like the Tigers are going to send Hannafy back out there, give him a chance to finish this off here in the ninth. As the Tigers need just 3 outs. Leading this game 5-1. It'll be up to the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Rays. Aranda, Caminero, and Lowe, as they need a 4-run rally in these last 3 outs. And actually, it's not going to be Hannafy on the mound. It's going to be Will Vest on the mound for the Tigers. His first pitch is a strike. And quickly now 0-2. Will Vest is the Tigers' closer. This is not a safe situation, but bring him out there for the 38th time to try and close this game out. Oh, 2 on the way, low, 1-2. The Tigers have not lost this season when leading after 8 innings. They are 50-0. Swing and a miss, and Aranda strikes out for the first out of the ninth. And it'll bring up Caminero, who's 0 for 3. Caminero 0 for 3. And takes outside for ball 1. A strikeout and 2 flyouts on the night for Caminero. Caminero on the ground, right back to Vest. Over to first, and the Tigers are 1 out away from their 58th victory of the season, and it's going to be up to Lowe to keep it alive for the Rays. Crowd rises in Detroit. Strike 1. Lowe is 0 for 3. Inside, 1-1. Up high, 2-1. Two-one. Low. It's 3-1 now on Low. If Low gets on, Mangum is on deck. 3-1 is in the air, foul ground, and not playable, and the count runs full, and the Rays are down to their final strike. Vest 3-2 pitch on the way to Lowe. And we'll do it again as Lowe fouls it away. Another 3-2 coming up. And another foul ball. Lowe not going down easy, not making it easy for Vest for this final out. Crowd on their feet in Detroit. Nice crowd on hand for a Monday night. The 3-2 on the way is ball 4, and Lowe draws a walk to keep the game alive for the Rays. And it'll bring up Mangum. Mangum is 0 for 3 tonight. His average has fallen now to 304. He's grounded out all 3 times tonight. Ball 1. One-oh, swing and a miss. 1-1. And swing and a miss, and once again the Rays are down to their final strike. Another 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouled away. Vesta's having to work for this third out. The 1-2 again. Lifted in the air to left. And the catch made out there, and that's your ball game. The Tigers make it 51-0 and still have not lost when leading after 8 innings. They get win number 58 on the season as they beat the Rays tonight 5-1. And they continue their blistering first half in Major League Baseball. "5-1 the final. 5 runs, 9 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, 5 hits for the Rays. Tigers left 7 on base. Rays left 4 on base. Of the Tigers' 9 hits tonight, 7 of those went for extra bases. And the Tigers take game 1 of this 3-game series against the Rays. 2 teams, Tigers definitely are postseason aspirations. Rays with postseason aspirations too. 2 very good teams in the American League. And the Tigers win this opener of this 3-game series 5-1 over the Rays tonight. All right, and let's update you on some of these other Major League Baseball scores real quick before I end the stream tonight. The Reds have taken the lead over the Marlins 1-0. Top of the 3rd there, Red Sox 5-1 over the Rockies. Top of the 6th, Brewers still lead the Dodgers 5-0 after 4. 4-2 lead for the Royals over the Pirates in the bottom of the 4th. Blue Jays lead the White Sox 3-1, bottom 5. Astros and Cleveland, no score after 3. And, of course, here tonight, the Tigers defeat the Rays 5-1. Montero got the win. He's now 4-1 on the season. Baz suffers the loss for the Rays. He falls to 8-4 on the season. Teams play 2 more times here in this 3-game series. And the Tigers' final series before the All-Star break, they will host the Mariners after these 2 games with the Rays. After these 2 in Detroit, Tampa Bay will head to Boston, to Fenway, to finish up before the All-Star break against the Red Sox. 5-1 the final tonight. Tigers win it. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on my live stream tonight. Again, my YouTube handle, Sports Bonanza John, here on Kick, Sports Kick John. Do have some content. We'll have some future content on Twitch as well. Sport Guru John is my handle on Twitch. Again, hope to be back for you tomorrow night for a stream for the Dodgers and Brewers. Going to depend on my schedule, work schedule, see how that goes. But that is the plan anyway, to be with you tomorrow night for the Dodgers-Brewers game. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Again, if you like my content on YouTube, we appreciate a like and subscribe. Sports Bonanza John, my YouTube handle. If you like the content, what I'm doing here, again, trying to get up and going, so I'd appreciate that if you like what you see. And thank you for joining me tonight. And again, hope to see you tomorrow night for the Dodgers-Brewers stream. We'll see you then. Have a good night, everybody.